Hi, welcome back. This is Tea with Tiffany again. I just want to give you some background. Yes, I'm a licensed therapist. I am not on this platform to provide therapy to anyone, just some insight and psychoeducation to help you be able to maneuver and deal with things. Today, I batch because I'm not going to give up on folks, and people are now more engaged in finding folks like myself when you can't afford to come see me personally. So that being said, I want to today talk about the anxiety trap and what that looks like. An anxiety trap usually consists of us having avoidance. Avoidance means that your voice is not being heard, and then you often avoid things that's going to allow you to be able to feel like life is fulfilling and that you can do the things that you need to. Flip side of that, when we're dealing with avoidance, a lot of people will, and I'm not saying everyone, will go and resort to adverse behaviors. And what I mean by adverse behaviors, drugs, gambling, shopping, eating, all those things come into the forefront. Everyone can't come see someone like myself, so then we can't unpack those things. So then you kind of just get yourself into the cycle. And I want you to know that I need you to picture anxiety like a maze. It's one of those things that seems to lead you deeper into something instead of allowing you to exit. So you have thought processes that are just cycling, and it causes you to always be in this world where you're just kind of self-blaming and trying to figure out why people aren't understanding. And I need you to know it's a trap. It's a trap. Today, we're going to understand how it works, and I want you to know. More importantly, I need you to break free. And if you can't break free today, I want you to continue to watch my videos to be able to know that I'm going to keep giving you insight to meet you where you are and you can break free. So I want you to understand this. The anxious person, you start spiraling. And when you start spiraling, these things is the things that happens most. We are finding that when we spiral, we don't recognize what the trigger is. We don't understand what the cycle is, and we don't understand how to reinforce ourselves to be able to get out of it. But understanding these steps that I'm going to talk about in this video is going to set you up for freedom. So listen, anxiety usually begins with a trigger. A trigger where there's a thought, a situation, you start feeling maybe butterflies in your stomach. You might start feeling clammy. You might start feeling sweaty. All those things are happening. What I want you to do is to understand that when you're doing things that are giving you the worst case scenario within your head, you're probably experiencing anxiety. So here's what I want you to know is that once a trigger causes you to feel anxiety, is a trigger within itself. It's never stopping. But I want you to know is that for us to be able to take hold of it and get rid of it, we have to call it for what it is, an anxiety cycle. We may feel restless. We may feel dread. All these things can be present when anxiety first takes on the approach. So people may say, well, how is anxiety triggering anxiety? Because your brain and your mind and your body is set up to experience anything that causes you to feel a certain way. It's a survivor mode. And we'll get more into that in different videos. I have to start somewhere, and I don't know what everyone needs. I want to be helpful, giving you educational information, but I can't reinforce enough. I am someone who's just offering information so you can do better and be better, and you deserve it. So I want you to know that the cycle of anxiety, you try to control it or you try to avoid it. This only gives you temporary relief. So when you find yourself, oh, I feel better, and then you walk back into another situation, it just minimizes it for a small amount of time. And if you don't recognize it and are not able to control it, you find yourself back into the cycle and you say it's never ending, nothing never stops, I can't get past this. The cycle continues. I need you to know that we don't have to minimize it. I want you to be able to feel like you can conquer and control anxiety and maintain it. I need you to know that the trap will only get stronger if you do not challenge it. So when you challenge it, and we know that there's things that we can put into practice to make it stop, the trap starts dissipating. You feel a lot more stronger, and you're able to experience more joyful and happiness throughout your day and feel empowered to challenge things, to take care of things that I've talked about in other videos as far as boundaries and so forth. So I need you to know breaking free is being able to allow yourself to go through certain steps. And I need you to know that I'm going to attach a handout here talking about breaking free and the steps. 4 key strategies that's going to get you there. Number 1 is the pause method. The pause method is knowing that you don't have to react immediately. Being able to stop yourself and say, you know what? This doesn't mean that I have to talk about it right now. This doesn't mean that it needs an immediate response. And realizing how to pull back and pull forward to know when that happens. Number 2, reality check. Start asking yourself, is there evidence for me to be worried? What is this evidence against? Myself? Is it even helpful? And then also ask yourself, what would I tell a friend? My best friend, my sister, my mother, my brother, my dad. Who would I tell? My spouse, my partner. Number 3 is a gradual approach. You strategize, you take small steps, things that I can teach you, things that I'm here to help you with. The 4th, the acceptance strategy. Realize that you don't need to fight anxiety. Rather than saying anxiety is going to happen, it can coexist with the thought process I'm having, but it doesn't have to run my thought process. And that's something that we can work on. We need to be able to break down that the anxiety trap is not just about dealing with the anxiety moments, but building ourselves up, developing daily habits that keep you resistant and resilient. Some of the things that are happening. So you have to make sure that you're doing exercise and having a constructive schedule. I need you to know this. No matter what I talk about here, there's always help for you. And if you don't take the initiative to seek that out, then I really feel that the things that I've just talked about will not resonate with you, because you may often tell yourself, that doesn't apply to me. It does apply to you. You know why it applies to you? Because you're human and someone out there is helping and rooting for you. And I want to get you to that space. So know this, help is always out there for you. Do not take this as a sign that you can't get yourself through it. I'm not saying that, but I am saying, please give us a try. Please leave a comment. Please subscribe. Ring the bell so that you know when my videos are coming out. And you will find some of the things that you mentioned are being mentioned in my upcoming videos, and I can be more in depth and give you more insight on how you can get through this and how I'm going to help you get through this. So I appreciate your time. Take care. Tea with Tiffany.